Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today's a great day not only because it's October 1st, but especially because it's my 1 year on YouTube anniversary. That's right, I've been making YouTube videos for you guys for 1 whole year now and I have no plans to stop it. I'm absolutely loving it. And if you remember from last year, I started my channel with 31 Days of Horror Part 1 and Part 2, and we're going to be getting back to that this year. So buckle up, because here comes the first 15 horror movies for you to enjoy for the first half of October. And coming up on day 1, we've got The Final Girls, which released March 13th, 2015. Now, if you have not seen this movie yet, you are in for such an amazing treat. Horror, comedy, heartbreak. This movie has everything. When Max and her friends reluctantly attend a tribute screening of an infamous 80s slasher film that starred Max's late mother, they are accidentally sucked into the silver screen. They soon realize they are trapped inside a cult classic movie and must team up with the fictional and ill-fated camp bloodbath counselors, including Max's mom as the shy scream queen, to battle the film's machete-wielding masked killer. This movie is absolutely incredible, and if you want to check it out, you can catch it streaming on Netflix and Hulu. And coming up on day 2, we have Hush, which released March 12, 2016. You might recognize the director Mike Flanagan from The Haunting of Bly Manor, The Haunting of Hill House, Dr. Sleep, and the brand new Midnight Mass on Netflix. A lot of really great horror titles from this guy, and this movie is no different. A deaf writer who retreated into the woods to live a solitary life must fight for her life in silence when a mass killer appears in her window. So basically the whole movie is about this woman who's being stalked in her own house, and she has no idea the killer's there because she's deaf. You can catch Hush on Netflix and Tubi. Coming on day 3, we've got Jeepers Creepers, which released August 31st, 2001. Now this one is one a lot of you probably know, and it's a really great horror movie. I actually watched it for the first time in one of my Halloween parties back when I was in high school. After making a discovery in the basement of an old abandoned church, Trish and her brother Derry watch the routine road trip home from college turn to a heart-stopping race for their lives. They find themselves the chosen prey of an indestructible force that relentlessly pursues them and gives a new and chilling meaning to the old song, Jeepers Creepers. Definitely a great movie for Halloween time. You can catch Jeepers Creepers on Tubi and Amazon Prime. And coming in 4th place, we have Trick or Treat, which released December 9th, 2007. If you are looking to get into the Halloween mood, this is the movie for you. A series of 5 interwoven stories that occur on the same block on the same night. A couple finds out what happens when they blow out a jack-o'-lantern before midnight. A high school principal has a secret life as a serial killer. A college virgin might have met the right guy for her. A group of mean teens play a prank that may take it too far. And a hermit is visited by a special trick-or-treater. It's really fun getting to experience all the different stories, and then seeing how some of them come together at the end is really awesome. You can catch Trick or Treat on HBO Max, YouTube, or Amazon Prime. And on day 5, we've got Fear Street Part 1, 1994, which released July 2nd, 2021. If you have not got around to watching these movies yet, you are in for such a treat. This one specifically throws back to a bunch of great 90s horror movies and has such a great vibe to it. The story revolves around a circle of teenage friends who accidentally encounter the ancient evil responsible for a series of brutal murders that have plagued their town for over 300 years. Welcome to Shadyside. This movie actually comes with a Part 2 and a Part 3, which will be featured in this list later on in the month. If you want to check out Fear Street Part 1, 1994, head on over to Netflix. Coming up on day 6, we've got Jennifer's Body, which released September 18th, 2009. Now this is a really great horror movie that does not get the love it deserves. Megan Fox does such a great job in this movie, and it's so underappreciated. When a demon takes possession of her, high school hottie Jennifer turns a hungry eye on the guys who never stood a chance with her before. When evil Jennifer satisfies her appetite for human flesh with the school's male population, her nerdy friend, Needy, learns what's happening and vows to put an end to the carnage. A lot of really great girl power in this movie and a lot of great stuff if you've never got around to seeing it yet. You can catch Jennifer's Body on Prime Video, Disney Plus, and YouTube. Coming up on day 7, we have The Strangers, which released May 30th, 2008. Now this movie definitely has a darker tone than some of the other movies early on in this list, but you are in for a great time. James White and Kristen McKay go to a remote house to spend some quality time with each other, but in the wee hours of the morning, a knock at the door changes their lives forever. This one has a lot of great twists and turns in it, really brutal kills too at certain points, and the killers themselves are super scary. You can catch The Strangers on Netflix, Shudder, and YouTube. Coming on October 8th, we have Silver Bullet, which released October 11th, 1985. Now I wanted to do something a little bit different with this entry, so we've got some monster horror. When a series of unexplained murders occurs in the normally quiet town of Tarker's Mill, the residents decide to hunt down the killer. However, many of these vigilantes end up dead, and those who don't are no closer to finding an assailant. But when a young wheelchair-using boy named Marty encounters a werewolf one night, the pieces begin to come together. This is a really awesome movie, and you've got to check it out if you haven't seen it yet. You can catch Silver Bullet on YouTube and Amazon Prime. And coming on day 9, we have The Babadook, which released May 22nd, 2014. Now this movie does a really great job at straddling the line between is it real or is it all in their heads? A single mother, plagued by the violent death of her husband, battles with her son's fear of a monster lurking in the house, but soon discovers a sinister presence all around her. The movie might seem like a little bit of a slow burn at first, but once things get going, you're in for a major treat with this one. You can catch The Babadook on Amazon Prime, Crave, and YouTube. And coming on day 10, we have Christine, which released December 9th, 1983. Now this is one of my favorite Stephen King movies, and I always have a lot of fun watching it. Arnie Cunningham restores an old car and names her Christine, but he's unaware that she has an evil presence within her. When anyone tries to come between her and her owner, they are not spared. It's another one that might be a little bit of a slow burn, but as things get going, it heats up really fast. You can catch Stephen King's Christine on Netflix and Crave. And coming on day 11, we have House of Wax, which released April 26, 2005. I know a lot of people have issues with this movie just because Paris Hilton is in it, but honestly, she doesn't bother me at all, and I think she actually does a pretty decent job in it. A gang of college friends are en route to a school football game when they wind up with a flat tire in a ghost town. They are forced to seek help in the only place that's open, the local wax museum. Once inside the spooky and seemingly abandoned building, they find the works of display are not quite what they seem. You can catch House of Wax on Amazon Prime, Tubi, and YouTube. And coming on day 12, we have Cult of Chucky, which released October 20th, 2017. The reason I've got this one on the list is because today is the debut of the Chucky TV series, and this movie happens right before it. Chucky returns to terrorize his human victim Nika, who's confined to an asylum for the criminally insane. Meanwhile, the killer doll has some scores to settle with his old enemies with the help of his former wife, Tiffany. I'm super excited to jump into the Chucky TV series, so I'm going to be rewatching all the Chucky movies on the channel, so stay tuned for that. If you want to watch Cult of Chucky, you can catch it on YouTube or Amazon Prime. And coming on day 13, we have Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, which released August 1st, 1986. The best Friday the 13th movie, my favorite Friday the 13th movie. What's not to love about this entry in the Jason movies? Years ago, Tommy Jarvis killed the infamous hockey mask murderer Jason Voorhees, and the intensity of the experience has landed him in a mental institution. To end his torment and achieve a level of closure, Tommy escapes from the hospital and heads to the graveyard where Jason is buried, intending to dig up the body and cremate it. But before the total annihilation can occur, a freak electrical accident resurrects Jason from the dead, and the terror begins anew. From Jason's resurrection, all the way to his final battle on Crystal Lake with Tommy at the end of the movie, there is so much going on that you are not going to be bored with this one. You can catch Jason Lives on YouTube and Amazon Prime. And coming on day 14, we have I Know What You Did Last Summer, which released October 17th, 1997. Now this movie I chose because the I Know What You Did Last Summer TV series premieres on October 15th, and you definitely gotta watch the original before you hop into the new TV series. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Sarah Michelle Gellar absolutely kill it in this movie, so I love watching it, even though it's heartbreaking when we watch one of them bite the dust. 4 high school teenagers try to cover up a hit-and-run case. A year later, they start receiving anonymous letters, and each one is attacked by a mysterious man who knows their deep, dark secret. Such a great movie, really love this one. I'm not as hyped for the TV show, but I am looking forward to it. If you want to watch the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, you can watch it on Amazon Prime, CTV, or YouTube. And for day 15, could it really be anything else except for Halloween Kills, which releases October 15th, 2021. Now this movie I am so excited for. It's been the movie I've been waiting for like literally 3 years now, and it picks up directly after the end of Halloween 2018. An injured Laurie Strode leads a vigilante mob to hunt down the unstoppable killer Michael Myers and end his reign of terror once and for all. Now there's been umpteen trailers for this, so I really don't have to get into it too much, but the fact that Laurie is back, going face to face with Michael once again, and he's going to be killing the entire town seems absolutely amazing and super hype. I can't wait to see it, and the only way to see it is either to watch it in theaters or watch it streaming on Peacock. Alright guys, so that was my part 1 of my 31 Days of Horror videos. I hope you really enjoyed my selections. I'm sure some of you have seen at least half or more of these movies, but if you haven't seen even one of them, I highly recommend you jump in and check it out, because these are some really awesome movies for this time of the year. What are your favorite movies to watch during spooky season? Let me know in the comments section down below. Part 2 of my 31 Days of Horror videos will release October 16th, so stay tuned for that. Until the next one, happy Halloween.